Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pebbly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be showing you a birthday card using the Sunshine Sayings stamp set, and I love the font on this stamp set. And the images here are quite good as well. And I'm also using the Sunshine Wishes dies which coordinate with the stamp set. And today I'll be using this gorgeous little flower, and I'm also using the word sunshine. So I'll take those out and have them ready in advance. So what I'm going to do as well is I've got a piece of cardstock which is just slightly smaller than our A6 card base. So for this card base I'm using a Whisper White thick cardstock. And I've got a panel of just plain Whisper White that will just go over the top, and for that I'm going to emboss that in with the Subtles Dynamic Textured Embossing folder. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I love this texture and I'll try and show it to you. So that's an idea. It looks like basil cardstock. I'm not sure if you know what that looks like, but it kind of has that texture, and I really love this embossing folder. It's one of my favourites from the new catalogue. So, but before I do that, I'm going to do a mock layout using the dies of what I'm going to be doing. So this is how it's going to look, like that. And I'm going to bring out my Stamparatus, actually, before I do that. So I'm a bit mixed up, so please ignore me. I've got my Stamparatus, and I'll actually be removing this stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this stamp that says Happy Birthday, and that's over here. And I'm going to do a rough layout of where I would like it. So in this case I would probably like it just about here. Just going to do a rough layout because I want to stamp this before I emboss that panel. So let me see now, hopefully that's straight. So I'm just going to check using the grid. So it falls off. Hang on a second. So that's where I would like it. I'll press that in, that's better. And I'll just check with the grid to make sure that the word Happy Birthday is aligned properly. And I think it is now. Moved it. Just going to give my stamp a bit of a rub. Because it's cold here in Sydney, the stamp does not stick very well. Do that again. Just want to make sure I've aligned it properly. And the grids are a little bit faint on this platform, which is a little annoying, but I will persevere. Okay, so I'll take those out. I'm going to get some Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to ink up the Happy Birthday. Make sure that's buttered right to the corner. And I'm going to stamp it. And that's stamped out perfect. So I'll just show you that close up. Perfect. Okay. So this is where, you know, using your Stamparatus or any other stamping platform you may have is very handy, because you can line things up. So that's that. I'm going to grab my embossing folder, and I'm going to stick my cardstock in there. I want to use the debossed side, so I'm actually going to put it upside down, because the embossed side is on with the Stampin' Up logo on the front, and the debossed side is at the back. So I want the debossed side to be at the front, so I'm just switching it over around like this. And I'm now going to put the folder down. Okay, I'm going to grab my Big Shot, And I'm going to be using, oh, forgot to bring my platform piece, just a second there. My Big Shot platform. No need for another plate underneath. You just put the embossing folder right over the top of the plate. And then I just put one cutting pad over the top. Because it's a thick embossing folder, you only use one cutting pad. And I'm going to now crank it through the Big Shot. And then I will show you this beautiful effect that this embossing folder has. So that is the, I'm not sure if you can see that, but let me assure you that there is a texture. I'm not sure if you can see that. There you go. That's the texture it gives you. Okay, so it's really beautiful. So that is done now. My embossing is done. And then I'm going to bring a piece of cardstock. This is what I'll be using to cut out the word sunshine and this flower. But I'm going to do some sponging or blending of colours, and I'm obsessed with doing that at the moment. So I'm going to bring in my craft sheet. I like using Ranger's craft sheet because it's a nice slick non-stick surface, and I'll be doing my blending on that. Lift up my sleeves so I don't get ink on them. To start off with, I'm going to be using Pineapple Punch, and I'm using the ink blending tool by Ranger, and their sponges actually are removable. And the reason why I'm using the ink blending tool is I find that I get much better results with my sponging. The ink actually transfers really nicely on with no harsh lines, and also for my hands. Lately my hands are not gripping very well, so yeah, so I'm just going to saturate my sponge with some colour, and so far so good. So I'm just going to go work off and then in. And as you can see, it lays on the colour really, really nicely. Now you can go as intense or as light as you like. So I'm just blending that all out. You can pick up the colour from over there because it's just sitting in a pool. And I'm just blending it all out. My colouring. Now you can use this as a background, but I'm going to use it to cut my cardstock with it because I think it works out really nice. So I'm just going to give my craft sheet a clean, and then I keep each sponge separate for each colour. So that's what I do, and I only you get 2 in a packet of these mini ink blending tools. These are fantastic and they're really good, especially if you have problems holding on to sponges and things. These are great. I wish Stampin' Up would sell them, but they don't. So anywho, I'm going to now bring up my Big Shot and we're going to cut it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the flower, and I want a gradient of colours and the word sunshine. And I'll just bring my big shot out, and I'm going to be using my magnetic platform with a cutting plate, and I'm going to now bring up exactly where I'd like it to be cut. And then I'm going to keep that background, because you can actually make a really cool background with that. And then you cut out these in white. So that will be another idea. So I'll put that up on my blog. So I'll cut that out. And I'm sure that cut out okay. Fantastic. Look at that. Just lifted right off. How easy was that? Alrighty, put that down. Take that off. Better keep that eye. That's the dot of the eye, so I'll put that over there. So now I'm going to bring my panel there that I'm going to use, and I'm going to now take out the word sunshine, the die cut, and I'm keeping this background because you can make another card with that. And in fact, I will do another card with that. I think it'll be cool to see it without me adhering the panels down, so it depends on the look you're after. So take all these bits off. So you have the word sunshine right there, and then all these other little pieces of fallout, and we can keep those pieces so that we can use them to fill up the space. Look at that, isn't that cute? So I think that works out really well. So just give me a moment, I'll bring out some glue, which I forgot to bring, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm just going to now stick down the word sunshine with some glue. Just doing little globs of glue. Okay. And I love dies that have words. I think they're really good. Now I've just got to find the dot of the eye that I had put away. And I think I found it. Yep. It's a tiny little thing. I'm going to put that up there. Okay, so that's that one there. And it's a nice, happy, summery looking colour. And I love how these blend together so nicely. So I'm just going to add some glue now on the back of this die cut. Okay. I'm just going to stick that down here. And that blends really nice. Isn't that cool? And with the texture, it just adds, I'm not sure if you can see that texture, there you go. It just adds a beautiful effect, and you've sponged that with some ink, and it looks fantastic. So what I'll do next is I will do a card with this as the front of the card, and I will not adhere it to the Whisper White, but that's how it would look with the Whisper White. So if you like lots of white on white, that looks fantastic. But I'm going to now die cut the word sunshine and this in white, and then just poke that out and that bit out too. And then I'm going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again with all these colours, and we'll make another card front with this. So bear with me. Down. So that just gives you a completely different card just from this little template alone. So you can go crazy with this. You can also sponge this in any colour you like as well and put different coloured cardstock. All you have to do is just make sure that when you cut it, you keep all the little bits and pieces at the back and maybe put painter's tape. I wished I thought of it before, but as I was doing that, I thought, what a waste, because this background is so beautiful. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to spritz this with water and give it a beautiful watercolour look effect, and then you'll have a choice between two cards just by doing one thing over here with ink blending. Okay, so I'll be back in just a second. So I've got some water in a spritz bottle, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray some water directly onto my hand, and then I'm just going to use it to just flick. And I'm just going to quickly blot that off, and a big drop fell, but that was purely by accident, but never mind. And I just wanted it to have a more splattered effect, but it didn't turn out. Just give that another little mist. Just lightly spritz that, and then I'll go over with my paper towel again and just pick up all of that water. Now there was a big splotch of water here, which is very disappointing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry that off, and then I'll come back and I'm going to re-sponge that area very, very carefully. Wish me the best. I'll be back. So that's that. So I think that looks good as a front of a card. So that's one way to fix it. You can try from the back if it becomes translucent, and then you can go from the front. And I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. So I'm going to trim off this horrible side bit by bit so I can make it fit to the front of a card. So I'll just trim off just here, just a tad off. And I'll keep these strips because they come in handy for accents on the inside of a card. And then I'm going to do the top part here, which is a little bit too dark. Again, I'll keep them as accents. And then again on this side here, just a little bit. That gets rid of all those yucky bits. And here's a card to do it both ways. So I hope you like it. Sorry about the mix-ups there. But you have the one with the embossed there. And I'm not going to stick these down because I'm going to leave this one blank so I can say hello sunshine, happy birthday sunshine, whatever you like. And that's the original card I had in mind. And then as I was doing the video, I thought this looked quite good too. And this is the card from the front there. Hope you like these ideas for cards. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment in the description box below this video. If you would like to purchase these products and you're in Australia, please go through my online store at peplyrose.stampinup.net. Sunshine Sayings has been a while, but it's still in our annual catalogue, and it is a fantastic set if you just put a modern spin to it. And I love ink blending at the moment. And this gorgeous Subtles embossing folder is amazing. I love it. So if you like the look of basil textured cardstock, this is for you. And it's really nice and subtle. So there it is from here, up close. So you can see that? It's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you all like it. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.